The heist gone wrong. Zaxler's tentacles quivered with anticipation as he peered through the mist at the looming structure before him. The human research facility, a behemoth of gleaming metal and pulsing energy fields, stood as a testament to humanity's rapid technological advancement. It was a treasure trove of scientific marvels, and tonight it would be his. Status report. He chittered into his comm device, the translator converting his clicks and whistles into the common galactic tongue. "All systems go, boss," came the reply from Kriva, his tech expert. "Human security protocols are child's play. We'll be in and out before they even realize we were here." Zaxler's compound eyes glittered with greed. Humans, for all their sudden leaps in technology, were still considered the new kids on the galactic block. Surely their security couldn't match the cunning of a seasoned Arcturian thief like himself. "Move in," he ordered, and his team of 5 slithered forward through the mist. The perimeter fence posed no challenge. Kriva's hacking skills bypassed it in seconds. As they approached the main building, Zaxler felt a surge of confidence. This heist would cement his reputation across the galaxy. The entrance yielded just as easily, the doors sliding open with a soft hiss. Zaxler led his team inside, their segmented bodies undulating silently across the polished floor. "Too easy," muttered Grak, the muscle of the group. His massive claws clicked nervously. "Quiet," Zaxler snapped. "The vault should be 2 levels down. Let's move." They found the elevator and descended. The vault door loomed before them, a massive slab of what appeared to be simple steel. Kriva approached, his neural interfaces connecting with the locking mechanism. "This is strange," Kriva mumbled, his eye stalks furrowing in concentration. "What is it?" Zaxler demanded. "The security here, it's unlike anything I've seen. It's not just complex, it's adaptive. It's changing as I work." Zaxler felt the first stirrings of unease. "Can you crack it or not?" Kriva's tendrils worked furiously. Yes, I think I've got it." The vault door slid open with a pneumatic hiss. Beyond lay racks of glowing canisters, each humming with barely contained energy. "Jackpot," Zaxler breathed. "Load up, quickly." His team surged forward, grasping at the canisters. But as the first one was lifted from its cradle, a low, pulsing alarm began to sound. "Kriva," Zaxler screeched. "It wasn't me." The tech protested. Something else triggered it. Suddenly, the lights in the facility flared to blinding intensity. Zaxler and his team recoiled, their sensitive eyes struggling to adjust. A voice, calm and almost amused, echoed through the vault. Now, didn't anyone ever teach you it's rude to take things that don't belong to you?" Zaxler whirled around, his heart racing. Standing in the vault doorway was a human, clad head to toe in a suit of midnight black. The material seemed to drink in the light around it, and no features were visible behind the featureless mask. "Black coat," Grak whispered in terror. Zaxler had heard the rumors, of course. Stories of humanity's elite forces capable of toppling governments and ending wars single-handedly. But he dismissed them as propaganda. Surely no species could produce warriors of such caliber. The black coat took a step forward, and Zaxler's team instinctively retreated. "I'll give you one chance," the human said, voice distorted by the mask. "Surrender now, and you'll be treated fairly under galactic law." For a moment, Zaxler considered it, but the thought of the riches within his grasp overrode his caution. "Take him down," he ordered. Grak lunged forward, his massive claws snapping. The black coat moved with impossible speed, sidestepping the attack and delivering a precise strike to a nerve cluster on Grak's carapace. The huge alien collapsed, twitching. The rest of the team attacked as one, a flurry of tentacles and alien weaponry. The black coat was a blur of motion, deflecting energy blasts and evading grasping limbs with inhuman grace. Zaxler watched in growing horror as his team was systematically dismantled. Each of the black coat's movements was economical, precise, and devastatingly effective. Within moments, 4 of his 5 companions lay unconscious or incapacitated. Only Kriva remained, backing away in terror. "What are you?" he squeaked. The black coat tilted its head slightly. "We are humanity's shield and sword. We are the guardians of Earth and her interests across the galaxy. We are the reason the darkness fears the light." Zaxler saw his chance. While the human was focused on Kriva, he lunged for the nearest canister, grasping it in his tentacles. "Stay back," he warned. "This container is unstable. One wrong move and I'll—" His words were cut short as something struck him from behind. Zaxler's body went rigid, muscles locking as electricity coursed through him. The canister slipped from his grasp, but before it could hit the ground, it froze in midair. A second black coat decloaked, hand outstretched towards the floating canister. Tech," came a feminine voice. "Didn't anyone tell you not to play with antimatter?" As consciousness faded, Zaxler's last thought was one of disbelief. How could he have underestimated humanity so badly? The 2 black coats stood among the unconscious aliens, the vault secure once more. "Well, that was a bit of excitement for the evening," the first one said. "Indeed," replied his partner. "Though I do wish they'd put up more of a challenge. I was hoping to test out the new polyadaptive combat subroutines. There's always next time. After all." The black coat looked down at the fallen aliens. "Word of this will spread. And where there's one group foolish enough to test humanity's defenses, there will be others," finished his partner. As if on cue, their comms crackled to life. "Black Coat Team Alpha, we have a situation developing in the Orient sector. Possible Targan incursion into protected space." The 2 operatives shared a look, though no expression could be seen behind their masks. "Acknowledged, Command. We're on our way." In a shimmer of advanced technology, they vanished, leaving behind a vault full of unconscious would-be thieves and a mystery that would soon ripple across the galaxy. Humanity's black coats had made their presence known, and the universe would never be the same. The hunt begins. The Arcturian embassy on Earth was in chaos. Ambassador Zixera's tendrils writhed in agitation as she absorbed the news of the failed heist. Her compound eyes flicked nervously between the holographic displays showing the last known locations of the surviving thieves. "This is a diplomatic nightmare," she chittered to her aide. "If the humans trace this back to us—" A priority communication interrupted her thoughts. The holographic image of Fleet Admiral Krasizik materialized before her, his usually immaculate carapace looking decidedly ruffled. "Ambassador," he growled, "please tell me you have the situation under control." Zixera's color shifted to a deeper blue, a sign of distress in her species. "Admiral, I'm doing everything I can. But these humans, they're black coats. They're unlike anything we've encountered before." The Admiral's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Find the survivors and extract them immediately. We cannot allow the humans to interrogate them. Use whatever resources necessary, but get it done." As the transmission cut off, Zixera turned to her aide. "Contact our operatives. We need to move fast." Across the sprawling metropolis of Neo-Tokyo, Kriva huddled in the shadows of a neon-lit alley. His neural implants, usually a source of pride and confidence, now felt like a liability. Every electronic pulse, every data transfer in the city around him could be the black coats closing in. A skittering sound made him freeze. A moment later, a small drone resembling an Earth insect landed before him, its multifaceted eyes glowing softly. "Kriva," came a voice he recognized as one of the embassy's covered operatives. "We've arranged transport off-world. Make your way to the following coordinates. You have 1 hour." As the drone relayed the information directly to his neural interface, Kriva felt a surge of hope. Maybe he'd survive this after all. Unbeknownst to the fleeing alien, high above the city, a black coat observed through advanced optical systems that penetrated the urban jungle with ease. "Target acquired," she subvocalized, The words transmitted instantly to her partner and their orbital support. Moving to intercept. With a grace that defied physics, she leaped from her perch, the smart fabric of her suit adapting to provide optimal aerodynamics. As she fell, microscopic propulsion units activated, guiding her descent with pinpoint accuracy. On the streets below, Krive emerged from the alley, his chameleonic skin adapting to mimic the clothing of human pedestrians. He moved with forced casualness, every nerve on edge. A hand clasped his shoulder, and Krive nearly leaped out of his exoskeleton. "Easy there, friend," came a soothing voice. He turned to see a human woman, her features unremarkable and easily forgettable. "Embassy sent me to guide you. Follow close." Relief flooded through him as he fell into step behind her. They weaved through the crowded streets, the cacophony of human languages, and the riot of sensory inputs almost overwhelming Kriva's enhanced senses. They approached a sleek maglev station, the woman guiding him towards a private boarding area. "Almost there," she reassured him. "Once we're on the transport, you'll be safe." As they stepped onto the platform, Kriva's guide suddenly stiffened. Her hand moved to her ear, as if receiving a communication. When she turned back to him, her eyes had changed, becoming flat and black as the void of space. "I'm afraid there's been a change of plans," she said, her voice now devoid of emotion. Kriva's heart nearly stopped as he realized his terrible mistake. He turned to flee, only to find his path blocked by another black coat, this one in full tactical gear. "Kriva of Arcturus," the newcomer intoned, "by the authority of Earth's Extraterrestrial Security Council, you are under arrest for attempted theft of restricted materials and conspiracy against a sovereign planet." Panic overwhelmed him. In desperation, Kriva activated his neural defenses, sending out an electromagnetic pulse designed to disrupt human technology. The black coats didn't even flinch. "Interesting attempt," said the female operative, her appearance shimmering as her camouflage deactivated. "But I'm afraid we've evolved beyond such simple countermeasures." Before Kriva could react further, he felt a sharp sting in his neck. As consciousness faded, his last sight was of the two black coats standing over him, their featureless masks betraying no emotion. In low Earth orbit, aboard the stealth ship Silent Vigil, Commander Elena Vasquez of the Black Coat Special Operations reviewed the incoming data. Kriva's capture was a significant win, but the other survivors were still at large, and there were disturbing indications of high-level Arcturian involvement. "Ma'am," her XO reported, "we're detecting unusual activity from the Arcturian embassy, energy signatures consistent with a small-scale quantum teleporter." Vasquez's eyes narrowed. "They're making a run for it. Alert all teams planetside. I want every spaceport, every known alien safe house under surveillance. Nothing gets off this planet without our knowledge." As alerts went out across the globe, Vasquez couldn't help but feel a grim satisfaction. For too long, certain elements in the galactic community had underestimated humanity, seen them as easy marks. The black coats were about to remind them of a crucial lesson. Never corner a species that had clawed its way to the stars through sheer determination and ingenuity. Humanity had not come this far to be prey. They were the apex predators now, and the hunt was just beginning. In the depths of space, unaware of the net closing around them, the remaining fugitives raced towards what they hoped would be sanctuary. But in the shadows between the stars, the black coats were already moving, silent and deadly, ready to protect humanity's interests with unwavering resolve. The next phase of the hunt was about to begin, and the galaxy would soon learn why Earth was a planet to be respected and feared. As they stepped onto the platform, Kriva's guide suddenly stiffened. Her hand moved to her ear, as if receiving a communication. When she turned back to him, her eyes had changed, becoming flat and black as the void of space. "I'm afraid there's been a change of plans," she said, her voice now devoid of emotion. Kriva's heart nearly stopped as he realized his terrible mistake. He turned to flee, only to find his path blocked by another black coat, this one in full tactical gear. Kriva of Arcturus, the newcomer intoned, "By the authority of Earth's Extraterrestrial Security Council, you are under arrest for attempted theft of restricted materials and conspiracy against a sovereign planet." Panic overwhelmed him. In desperation, Kriva activated his neural defenses, sending out an electromagnetic pulse designed to disrupt human technology. The Blackcoats didn't even flinch. "Interesting attempt," said the female operative, her appearance shimmering as her camouflage deactivated. "But I'm afraid we've evolved beyond such simple countermeasures." Before Kriva could react further, he felt a sharp sting in his neck. As consciousness faded, his last sight was of the two black coats standing over him, their featureless masks betraying no emotion. In low Earth orbit, aboard the stealth ship Silent Vigil, Commander Elena Vasquez of the Black Coat Special Operations reviewed the incoming data. Kriva's capture was a significant win, but the other survivors were still at large, and there were disturbing indications of high-level Arcturian involvement. "Ma'am," her XO reported, "we're detecting unusual activity from the Arcturian embassy, energy signatures consistent with a small-scale quantum teleporter." Vasquez's eyes narrowed. "They're making a run for it. Alert all teams planet-side. I want every spaceport, every known alien safe house under surveillance. Nothing gets off this planet without our knowledge." As alerts went out across the globe, Vasquez couldn't help but feel a grim satisfaction. For too long, certain elements in the galactic community had underestimated humanity, seen them as easy marks. The Black Coats were about to remind them of a crucial lesson. Never corner a species that had clawed its way to the stars through sheer determination and ingenuity. Humanity had not come this far to be prey. They were the apex predators now, and the hunt was just beginning. In the depths of space, unaware of the net closing around them, the remaining fugitives raced towards what they hoped would be sanctuary. But in the shadows between the stars, the Black Coats were already moving, silent and deadly, ready to protect humanity's interests with unwavering resolve. The next phase of the hunt was about to begin, and the galaxy would soon learn why Earth was a planet to be respected and feared. Desperate measures. The Arcturian freighter Starweaver cruised through the inky void of space, its hull pitted and scarred from years of hard use. To casual observers, it was just another unremarkable merchant vessel, but deep within its holds, desperation and fear reigned. Zaxler paced the cramped cargo bay, his tentacles twitching with nervous energy. The failed heist on Earth had cost him everything: his reputation, his freedom, and possibly his life. Of his original team, only he and the brute Grak had managed to escape the Black Coat's initial sweep. "Will you stop that infernal movement?" Grak growled from his corner. "Your anxiety is making my carapace itch." Zaxler whirled on his companion. "Anxiety? We're being hunted by the most lethal force in the galaxy, you overgrown crustacean. A little anxiety is warranted." Before Grak could retort, the ship's intercom crackled to life. "Attention passengers," came the weary voice of Captain Nix. "We're approaching the Omega Nebula. Our contact awaits us there. With any luck, you'll soon be someone else's problem." Zaxler's eye stalks drooped in relief. The Omega Nebula, a lawless region where even the Black Coat's reach was limited, or so he hoped. As the Starweaver entered the nebula's swirling gases, visibility dropped to near zero. Captain Nix skillfully guided the ship through the cosmic maze, relying on instinct as much as instruments. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Proximity alert." Nix's voice rang out, panic evident. "Unknown vessel on intercept course." Zaxler felt his heart sink. "It's them," he whispered. "They found us." But as the unknown ship drew closer, it became clear this was no Earth vessel. Its bioorganic hull pulsed with an otherworldly light, defying conventional design. "By the cosmic egg," Grak breathed. "It's a Scatheri ship." The Scatheri, an enigmatic race known for their incredibly advanced biotechnology and general disdain for other species. What were they doing here? Before anyone could react, a shimmering field enveloped the Starweaver, and Zaxler felt the disorienting lurch of sudden teleportation. When his senses cleared, he found himself in a vast, pulsating chamber that seemed more alive than mechanical. A holographic figure materialized before them. A Sktheri elder, its segmented body adorned with bioluminescent patterns. "Welcome, wayward ones," it said, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "We've been expecting you." Captain Nix stepped forward, mandibles clicking nervously. "Honored elder, we seek asylum from the humans and their black coats," the elder finished. "Yes, we know. Their rise has concerned us." Zaxler couldn't believe his luck. "Then you'll help us." The elder's eyes, multifaceted and alien, seemed to peer into Zaxler's very soul. Help is such a transactional concept. Let us say instead that our interests temporarily align. The humans have upset the galactic balance. We seek to restore equilibrium. Meanwhile, light years away, aboard the Silent Vigil, Commander Elena Vasquez frowned at the holographic display. The fugitive's trail had gone cold at the edge of the Omega Nebula. "Status report," she barked. Her XO, Lieutenant Raman Dalir, stepped forward. "Ma'am, we've detected traces of Sktheri energy signatures in the sector. It's possible they've intercepted our targets." Vasquez's eyes narrowed. The Sktheri were a wild card, their motives often inscrutable to other races. If they were harboring fugitives from Earth, it could spark an interstellar incident. "Get me a secure line to Earth Command," she ordered, "and prepare a stealth insertion team. If we're going into Sktheri space, we need to be at our absolute best." As her crew scrambled to obey, Vasquez allowed herself a moment of reflection. The Black Coats had been created to protect humanity's interests in a vast and often hostile universe. But with every passing day, the line between protector and aggressor seemed to blur. Back on the Sktheri vessel, Zaxler and his companions were led to a chamber filled with pulsating, organic technology. The elder gestured towards a series of pods. "These will enhance your natural abilities," it explained. "They will also shield you from human detection methods. But be warned, the process is not without risk." Grek stepped forward without hesitation, his massive form barely fitting into one of the pods. As it sealed around him, he let out a roar of pain and exhilaration. Zaxler hesitated. "What's the catch?" he asked, years of criminal dealings making him wary of deals too good to be true. The elder's bioluminescent patterns shifted in what might have been amusement. "Perceptive. In exchange for our aid, you will act as our agents. You will help us gather intelligence on human capabilities, particularly those of the Black Coats. You want us to spy on the very forces hunting us." Zaxler was aghast. "Who better?" the elder countered. "You've encountered them firsthand. You know their methods. And now, with our enhancements, you'll have a fighting chance." As Zaxler contemplated this devil's bargain, alarms suddenly blared throughout the Sktheri ship. The elder's form flickered, its patterns shifting to angry reds. "Impossible," it hissed. "They found us." On a view screen, a sleek black ship materialized out of the nebula's swirling gases. Its hull seemed to devour light, making it nearly invisible against the cosmic backdrop. "Black Coats," Zaxler whispered, a mixture of fear and awe in his voice. The elder turned to him, its alien features unreadable. "It seems your decision has been made for you. Enter the pod. Quickly." As Zaxler scrambled into the nearest enhancement chamber, he caught a final glimpse of the view screen. The Black Coat ship was deploying what looked like humanoid figures, their midnight suits allowing them to traverse the void of space with ease. The pod sealed around him, and Zaxler felt a rush of alien biomatter integrating with his system. As consciousness faded, one thought echoed in his mind. The hunt had taken an unexpected turn, and the galaxy's greatest powers were being drawn into a conflict that threatened to reshape the cosmic order. And somehow, improbably, he found himself at the center of it all. In the vastness of space, as enhanced aliens and elite human forces prepared for confrontation, the stage was set for a clash that would echo across the stars. The tables turn. The Scathuri bioship pulsed with frantic energy as it maneuvered through the chaotic currents of the Omega Nebula. Inside, newly enhanced Zaxler and Grak stood in the ship's nerve center, their bodies still adjusting to the alien upgrades coursing through their systems. "Status report," the Scathuri elder demanded, its bioluminescent patterns flashing rapidly. A younger Scathuri, interfaced directly with the ship's living computers, responded telepathically. "The human vessel pursues, Elder. Their technology. It's adapting to our cloaking measures faster than anticipated." Zaxler flexed his new biomechanical appendages, marveling at the strength flowing through them. "How is this possible? Even with your enhancements, we're barely staying ahead of them." The Elder's multifaceted eyes swiveled towards him. "The humans have evolved far more rapidly than any species we've encountered. Their black coats represent the pinnacle of their advancement." A hollow chuckle emanated from Grak, his form now a hulking mass of muscle and carapace. "So we've thrown our lot in with you, only to be caught anyway. Wonderful." Suddenly, the young Scathuri interfaced with the ship let out a psychic cry of alarm. "Elder, I'm detecting a quantum intrusion in our systems." The view screens flickered, and for a brief moment, the image of a black coat operative appeared, their featureless masks somehow conveying an air of smug superiority before vanishing. "Impossible," the elder whispered. "They've penetrated our quantum shielding." As if on cue, the ship shuddered violently. Tendrils of dark energy began to seep through the organic walls, coalescing into humanoid shapes. The black coats had breached their defenses. "Fall back to the inner sanctum," the elder commanded. As they retreated, Zaxler's enhanced senses picked up fragments of communication between the black coats. "Team Alpha in position. Neutralize the Scathuri. Primary targets are the Arcturians." But amidst the chatter, Zaxler noticed something odd. One of the black coats, moving with slightly less fluid grace than the others, touched their helmet in a gesture that seemed almost human. As they sealed themselves in the inner sanctum, Zaxler's mind raced. "Elder," he chittered excitedly, "I think I've found a weakness." The elder turned its attention to him, skepticism evident in its posture. "Explain." "The black coats, they're not all the same," Zaxler said hurriedly. "One of them showed signs of fatigue. They're not invincible machines. They're still human underneath." Grak scoffed. "And how does that help us? They're still far superior to anything we faced." The young Scathuri suddenly perked up. "Wait, the Arcturian might be onto something. I'm detecting fluctuations in the black coat's energy signatures. They're maintaining their advanced capabilities through some form of persistent quantum field." The elder's bioluminescence pulsed with renewed interest. "If we could disrupt that field, we could level the playing field," Zaxler finished, his criminal mind already formulating a plan. Meanwhile, aboard the Silent Vigil, Commander Elena Vasquez monitored the assault on the Scathuri vessel with growing unease. Something felt off about this operation. "Lieutenant Delir," she called out, "run a full diagnostic on all team members' suit telemetry." Delir raised an eyebrow but complied. Moments later, his expression changed to one of concern. "Commander, I'm detecting micro-fluctuations in Operative Chen's quantum field. It's nothing critical, but it's not supposed to happen at all," Vasquez finished grimly. The black coat suits were supposed to be perfect, a seamless fusion of human and machine. Any fluctuation, no matter how small, could be catastrophic in the field. Back on the Scathuri ship, Zaxler outlined his desperate plan. "The Scathuri's quantum technology, combined with the data from my neural implants, we might be able to create a localized field that disrupts the black coat's enhancements. And if we fail? Grak grumbled. Then we die, Zaxler said simply. But we die fighting instead of running. The elder considered for a moment, then nodded. We will divert all available power to this endeavor. But be warned, once we begin, there's no turning back. The humans will detect the energy buildup. As the Scatheri and their unlikely allies worked feverishly to implement Zaxler's plan, the Black Coats continued their relentless advance through the ship. Operative Chen, bringing up the rear, fought to ignore the growing discomfort in her limbs. The suit's neural interface flickered occasionally, a hairline fracture in humanity's most advanced technology. In the Silent Vigil's command center, Vasquez made a decision. Pull Chen out, she ordered. Something's wrong with her suit, and we can't risk. Her words were cut short as a massive surge of energy erupted from the Scatheri ship. The view screens went white, and for a moment, every system on the Silent Vigil flickered. When the interference cleared, Vasquez's blood ran cold. On the tactical display, the signals from the Black Coat team had vanished. Report, she barked. Daller's fingers flew over his console. It's some kind of localized quantum disruption field. Our team's suits, they're not responding. Inside the Scatheri ship, the Black Coats stumbled, their once fluid movements now jerky and uncoordinated. Their advanced sensors flickered and died, leaving them suddenly, terrifyingly vulnerable. Zaxler stepped out of the inner sanctum, his enhanced body humming with borrowed Scatheri power. Behind him, Grak cracked his massive claws, and the Scatheri moved with renewed purpose. Well, Zaxler said, facing the disoriented Black Coats. Looks like the hunters have become the hunted. As the tables turned within the Scatheri vessel, Commander Vasquez faced a critical decision. The supposedly invincible Black Coats were now vulnerable, trapped behind enemy lines. The core of Earth's defense strategy was suddenly, catastrophically compromised. Commander, Daller said quietly, what are your orders? Vasquez stared at the tactical display, her mind racing through scenarios, each one worse than the last. In this moment, the future of humanity's place in the galaxy hung in the balance. Prepare a full assault, she said finally, her voice hard. We're going in. Whatever it takes, we're bringing our people home. As both sides prepared for a confrontation that would shake the foundations of galactic society, one thing became clear. The age of unchallenged human dominance was over. A new era of interstellar conflict and cooperation was about to begin, with the fate of the Black Coats, and perhaps humanity itself, hanging in the balance. Humanity unleashed. The Scatheri bioship shuddered as the Silent Vigil unleashed a barrage of quantum-tipped missiles. Inside, chaos reigned. The Black Coats, their advanced suits reduced to little more than cumbersome armor, fought with desperate human ferocity against their alien adversaries. Zaxler, drunk on his newfound power, lashed out with his biomechanical appendages, sending two Black Coats flying across the pulsating chamber. Not so tough without your fancy tech, are you? He crowed. But even as the words left his mouth, he noticed something changing. The Black Coats were adapting, their movements becoming more fluid, more coordinated. They were learning, evolving their tactics in real time. One Black Coat, her suit's faceplate cracked to reveal determined human eyes, spoke into her comm unit. This is Operative Chen. They've negated our quantum field, switching to contingency protocols. Across the ship, the remaining Black Coats responded in unison. Acknowledged. Ragnarok protocol initiated. Zaxler felt a chill run down his spine. What are they doing? He chittered nervously to the Scatheri elder. Before the elder could respond, the ship rocked with another impact. Through the viewports, they could see the Silent Vigil closing in, its sleek form bristling with weapons. Aboard the human vessel, Commander Vasquez watched the tactical display with grim determination. All teams, prepare for boarding action. We're going in hot. Lieutenant Daller approached, his face pale. Commander, the Black Coats have initiated the Ragnarok protocol. "Are you sure we should? We don't have a choice." Vasquez cut him off. "Whatever happens next, we face it together." Back on the Scatheri ship, the Black Coats began to move with renewed purpose. Instead of fighting, they were linking up. Their suits, though powered down, began to pulse with a strange, synchronized energy. The Scatheri elders' bioluminescent patterns flashed in alarm. "No, it can't be. They're creating a localized quantum entanglement field." Grak, in the middle of grappling with a black coat, paused in confusion. "What does that mean?" Suddenly, every black coat spoke in perfect unison, their voices resonating with an otherworldly power. "We are humanity's shield and sword. We stand between the darkness and the light. We are legion, for we are many, and we are one." A blinding flash of energy erupted from the linked black coats, expanding outward in a shockwave that passed through everything it touched. Zaxler felt his Scatheri enhancements falter and fade, the alien biomatter rejecting his body. As the light faded, Zaxler found himself face to face with a black coat, the same one he had taunted earlier. But now, the operative's suit hummed with renewed power, somehow even more formidable than before. "How?" Zaxler whispered, his earlier bravado evaporating. The black coat tilted her head slightly. "You thought our strength came from our technology, our suits. You understand so little about humanity." With lightning speed, she subdued Zaxler, cuffing him with quantum-locked restraints. Around the ship, the other black coats were similarly rounding up their adversaries with ease. The Scatheri elder, its form diminished without its technological augmentations, addressed the lead black coat. "What are you?" Operative Chen removed her helmet, revealing a face that was both ordinary and extraordinary, a testament to humanity's duality. "We are the culmination of humanity's potential. Our technology doesn't make us strong. It merely amplifies what's already within us." She gestured to her fellow operatives. The Ragnarok Protocol wasn't a weapon or a last resort. It was a reminder of our greatest strength, our unity. Individually, we can be defeated. But together, linked not just by technology, but by the indomitable human spirit, we are unstoppable. As if to punctuate her words, the ship shuddered as docking clamps engage. The silent vigil had arrived, and with it, the full might of humanity's fleet. Commander Vasquez strode onto the Scatheri ship, flanked by Marines in powered armor. She surveyed the scene, captured aliens, triumphant black coats, and the palpable sense of a tide turned. "Well done, Operative Chen," Vasquez said, a hint of pride in her voice. "I think it's time we had a long overdue conversation with our galactic neighbors." In the days that followed, the repercussions of the battle echoed across the galaxy. The myth of the invincible black coats had been shattered, but in its place arose something far more terrifying to potential adversaries: the reality of humanity's true strength. Diplomatic channels, long strained by suspicion and fear, suddenly buzzed with activity. The Arcturian Confederation, the Scatheri Collective, and a dozen other alien races clamored for dialogue with Earth's representatives. In a historic address to the Galactic Council, Commander Vasquez, now serving as Earth's ambassador, stood tall. "We came to the stars not as conquerors, but as explorers and partners. The Black Coats were created to protect, not to dominate. But make no mistake, humanity will defend itself and its allies with every fiber of our being. Our strength lies not in our technology, formidable as it may be, but in our spirit, in our unity, in our unyielding determination to forge a better future, not just for ourselves, but for all sentient life." She paused, her gaze sweeping across the assembled alien dignitaries. "Today, we extend our hand in friendship. But know this, that same hand, when forced, can form a fist that even the cosmos itself would be wary to challenge. The choice of how you meet us, as friends or foes, is yours." As Vasquez's words resonated through the council chambers and across subspace channels to every corner of the galaxy, a new era dawned. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage not with a whimper, but with a roar, a complex symphony of strength, unity, and an indomitable spirit that would reshape the very fabric of interstellar society. And in the depths of space, aboard starships and space stations, in hidden bases and open academies, the Black Coats continued their vigil. They stood ready, humanity's shield and sword, a testament to what could be achieved when technology and human potential worked in perfect harmony. The galaxy would never be the same, and the legend of the Black Coats, once whispered in fear, would now be spoken with a mixture of awe and respect. For in facing their greatest challenge, humanity had not just endured, they had transcended.